Hey, this is Brian with King Grizzly, and I want to give you a little bit of a pitch on why you should use our approach to managing your Elementor padding in the way that we do. If you're convinced by the end of this short pitch, we've got a longer video I'll link to where you can see the whole rationale, and we'll give you all the CSS. You can set up the same system or something very similar yourself. So what am I talking about? If I click on this container, you'll notice under advanced padding, I've put in these weird looking things. It's called CSS variable. Don't be intimidated. It's easy to learn, and it's actually easy to teach your client in a matter of minutes once people realize what's going on. So let me show you what's laying underneath this. If we go to the site settings and we go to layout, Elementor lets us set our desktop, tablet, and mobile padding defaults, right? We usually use pixels, and we usually kind of map that on to how we do our Figma designs, but you have other units you can choose from if you prefer percentage widths, viewport widths, etc. We like pixels, so we set them up 84 here for, actually these aren't the ones I always use, but this is just as a way of demonstration. So we have 84 here, 60, and then on the mobile we like to do a percentage width on the sides. It scales a little better. And then we have a pixel width on the top, right? So those numbers, if I go back to the editor, are what get pulled into these variables. So this variable is grabbing the 84 on desktop, it's grabbing the 60 on tablet, and it's grabbing, I think I had 24 on top for mobile. Now, what this lets us do then is manipulate these with little modifiers. So if I type in a hyphen 200p, what it's going to do is it's going to take that top number and double it 200%. So I'm basically saying, hey, I want double up here. If I did 300%, it would take 84 times 3. Now, if I go back to the global settings and I change that 84 to some other number like 50, then it would be 50 times 3 or 150 pixels on the top. And what's neat is that flows down proportionately through the tablet and the mobile. So on mobile, 300 is going to be 3 times the 24 pixels. So what is that? 72, right? And you can see how it flows through. If I wanted to, I could come down here to tablet and I could set different settings. So I could say, that I want my top just to be normal again, right? And I could do that for the right. And what if I wanted the bottom to be different? Let's say I wanted my bottom to be 300%. There we go. And then on the left, I could put L. And what I tend to do is, if we look at the desktop, you'll see it switches. I tend to build like a preloaded container that's loaded up with my normal variables. Usually I only do it at the desktop level, but you could do it at all 3 levels. And then you can come in and easily, quickly manipulate things if you want to. I like to just do it at the desktop level because whatever I set up here tends to be what I want. That flows all the way down. So let me set this one back to the basic, and I want to show you just a couple more things and I'm done pitching. So here's the normal way people do it. You add a container. I'm going to go with Flexbox. Nicely, it does inherit the global spacing, right? That's good. But I don't always want that. Oftentimes I need to zero out one side or the other. Like let's say I had 2 panels in a row, all right? So I'll just drop a widget in each one real quick. So I'll just put an image inside of each one. So there's an image. And you'll notice that is a lot of breathing room in between. Sometimes it's fine, but sometimes you don't want that. And like I would want the top of this one to be 0 or the bottom of this other one to be 0. The moment I try to set that, like I just want the bottom to be 0. If I hit 0, they're all linked. So I have to undo the link. So if I undo the link first, it still zeroes them out. Now I have to remember, you know what were all my paddings? Okay, it was 84. And then I gotta go set the right, which was 84. Now I leave the bottom 0. And then I gotta go to tablet and set that, which was what? Oh, I think it was 60. And then I gotta go into the phone, and I know I had a percentage. It's easy to make typos and so forth, right? It's very manual. And then if I do that to this panel, any custom padding I want on any panel on the side, I have to do that over and over and over and over again. And it's totally unattached from the central paddings. It's no longer connected. So if I go and change my mind about my global layout padding values, these ones will never know about it. So if we were to use my system, let me duplicate this, and then we'll get rid of that background color. and then we'll duplicate it again. So under this approach, all we need to do is just zero out the side we don't need. So I can get rid of that padding on the bottom, or alternatively, if it made more sense for my design purposes, I could go to the next one down and I could zero out the top there. And then that should flow across all the device sizes. We're still connected to the global styles. If I change their proportionality through changing their values, these will still be aware of it. So hopefully that makes some degree of sense. Like I said, I'll link to the other full video that's got the snippets to try it out yourself. Curious what you think. Thanks for your time.